were searching for my name today, I saw you standing there. Man, you look different with that silver in your hair. Me, I haven't aged a bit, still all of 21. That's the thing about us spirits, we're forever young at the wall. Here at the wall, we were proud to serve our country when called by Uncle Sam. Then more than a little anxious, then they shipped us off to Nam. Remember all the heat and bugs, days marching through the mud, constant gunfire, smell of death, sight of all that blood. Some gave all. The names carved in this wall, but it's a wall of love, a wall that heals, a wall that touches, helps you feel the faces of more than 50,000 names. Feel the wall be forever changed.
I remember one time we were in a fire support base. Our recon patrol had ambushed a Viet Cong unit, and they were carrying a deer. They brought the deer back. CO asked me to barbecue it. So we made a makeshift barbecue grill and we barbecued the deer. And for a few minutes there, Vietnam wasn't anywhere near. We were just having a nice barbecue. No beer, but we were having a nice barbecue. Unfortunately, 2 days later, we got hit very bad. When the mortar rounds started coming in, we had makeshift bunkers, and of course I was a military intelligence sergeant, so we had a command bunker, and it was in the ground. So I had gone in there with the CO and the other staff, and the battalion surgeon stuck his head in, Dr. Loshes, and he said, "Sam," he said, "I need some help, man." And I thought, you want me to go out there with all those mortar rounds falling? And then I thought, somebody's got to do it. And dodging shrapnel and everything, we were taking the wounded out from their locations and placing the dead in one location. And then we had called in the dust-off helicopters, at the medevac. And they came in and we were loading the wounded into the helicopter. And all this time we had rounds coming in. And those young men flying those helicopters, they were great. They were like angels that came out of the sky. Another time, I was flying in a light observation helicopter on a courier mission, and while we were in the air, just me and this young pilot, I overheard on the radio that my recon element was in contact with a pretty good-sized VC and NVA unit. I got in and I interrupted and I said, "This is 2 Romeo, I'm pretty close to that location, you want me to assist?" And they said, "Sure, go ahead." So I told the young pilot, I said, "How much ammo do you have?" And he said, "Well, I only have a half a load." I didn't want to hear that. So I said, "Well, we're going over there and we're going to assist the recon element." We went over there. I had the recon element pop smoke on your left flank so I know what direction you are. We went to work. Well, we expanded all the ammunition that was in the helicopter. We started firing with our M16s and throwing the grenades out at them. Anyway, we got to the next fire support base that we were supposed to make coordination with. The pilot looked at his engine, and the cowl on the back of the little jet engine and the LOH had a bullet hole in it, and it missed the main engine maybe about 2 or 3 inches. So if it had hit that engine, we'd have gone down.
Long range reconnaissance said just drop 4, 5, 6 of us out, and we'd just go and do our thing and get materials dropped up to us. And every 30 days we'd get a new pair of fatigues because we stunk like crazy. The first time was pretty rough, you know, and had a couple of buddies die in my arm. One time we was at this little area and we got pinned down and we just fired at anything and everything, and next morning woke up and started counting the bodies and checking them. And I rode over this one body, and it was a young girl. She was one of them, but she couldn't have been more than 17, 18 years old. That's burnt into my mind, that I killed that 17-year-old girl. But I realize now it was her or me. But it just bugs the heck out of me that I had to kill her. My second tour was a little bit better. I was with the 1st Brigade. Made it through there pretty well. Had one of the guys, in fact, he was writing to my sister. And one morning, he didn't show up, and we had a search team go around and look, went to all the bunkers and everything. And I came upon him. He blew his head off. For some reason or other, 2 weeks before he left. And I had to write to my sister and let her know.
I just graduated, and all of a sudden, it didn't take long to take me. I got drafted. It's a lot different. I went from training to actually combat. And it still bothers me, but when I was in a fire base, we got hit all the time. It was almost got overrun and all. You know, for me as a young age, I was only, 18? I couldn't even buy beer yet. And I was still out there fighting, keep myself alive. There was a mission started. Soldiers called it Hamburger Hill. I didn't know what it was about. After they had a lot of combat area, they said, okay, all you bees, start picking up bodies. It was a hill, rainy, and as we walked, we started picking. There was no coverage for our American soldiers to hide, and the enemy was on top. So they got hit, throw grenades, pop. Further went up the hill, I started picking up departed bodies, hands, heads, feet, and it bothered me because I saw a lot of people with wedding bands. I said, wow, they have a family. So I started putting them in body bags, and then would bring them down. But what bothers me, I didn't even know who it was or what, because it was a sergeant pulling dog tags. I said, wow, man, you know, for me young, so I finally saw bodies all over. So the wall, yesterday, it hit me hard. And people ask me, well, where's your buddies? And I says, people, I did not know names. I had just picked up bodies, threw in bags, but I had no name, no clue who they were. As far as I know, they're all over. And that's something that I'll never forget, because I don't know who they were. I see all these names, and I walked and looked, and I don't know who it is, who it was. That's all it was. Names. And it was very hard.
When we finally got the orders saying we could go back home, they were looking for my body, so you made the trip alone. Came back to a country couldn't comprehend how so many boys that left returned as messed up men who served with all.
Think of Vietnam, I think of all the men that, that we've lost there. And for what? You know, they came back, they were treated like dogs. America lost its backbone. And I hated to see that. Kind of a John Wayne type most of my life, I guess. Mom and apple pie and all that means something to me. I stood there and I cried like a baby. All that wall runs forever. And all those names on that wall. And each name stands for a guy who lost his life.
So as you stand there weeping with your fingers on my name, share with those cute grandkids the reason for this place, to restore some stolen gratitude and dignity. this granite wall of honor holds my memory. It's a wall of love, a wall that heals.
In 1971, in Quezon, we came under attack on the 27th of May at 12:30 a.m. A good friend of mine, which was a medic named Nikishima, was running to help an injured soldier and was killed. Today, while I was at the wall, I scratched his name onto a piece of paper. When I turned around, there was 4 or 5 people, Japanese people, were all excited, and they kept asking me, they were pointing to the wall, why his name? And I said, he was my friend. It was his family. And they didn't speak English, but they had one of them smartphones and translated. And they wanted to know what happened to their uncle. So I told them. And you think time passes and you forget feelings are different, but they're not. It was like yesterday. The shorty died, but now his family knows how he died. We're trying to save somebody else.
The most impressive thing about that I saw today, and I'll have to admit that it was the World War II memorial that was so massive and huge. But
Fingers on my name, share with those for this place to restore some stolen.
the one that ripped my heart out
This granite wall of honor holds my memory.
was the Vietnam Wall.
It's a wall of love, a wall that heals,
I bawled like a baby.
helps you feel the faces
Thank you.
feel the wall be forever changed. Feel the wall be forever changed.